Oh my gosh! There are a lot of insane trick shots out there, but what I'm about to show you might just fit that definition better than any of them. I think we can all agree that you'd have to be insane to sit at the top of a staircase and throw ping pong balls into a fishbowl for 83 hours, hoping that it would go in a shot glass, which is exactly what I did, and it took 2.5 years. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry, you're probably not alone. But in order for me to explain, we're gonna have to rewind all the way back to April of 2020.
We're gonna make this shot today. Doing it.
Sometime in early quarantine, I was looking for tape in our storage room when I happened to drop a ping pong ball into a fishbowl. And because I was bored from being stuck inside, I decided, why not make that into a trick shot? So that's exactly what I did.
Attempt 2000.
Safe to say it took a while.
Oh, not again.
Yes!
It's been done.
Now, the original one did take a few hours, but it wasn't worth a video on its own, and we weren't planning on doing a second one until we posted the first one and a ton of people liked it. So I immediately started planning for a sequel fishbowl shot, and before we got to the iteration that I counted the hours on, there was one other one I tried that's worth mentioning. If this video gets 150 likes, maybe I'll try this version again. After about an hour and a half, I did end up giving up on that shot, and it wouldn't be until 7 months later, when we were filming for Ping Pong Trick Shots, that I would bring the fishbowl back out and try again. Instead of adding a board though, I would just shrink the cup. And this is when it starts getting interesting. That was attempt 1 out of what would end up being at least 50,000 attempts on this shot. While I can't say for sure whether or not I'd go back and try this again, knowing how long it took, what I can say for sure is that this was an absolutely terrible camera angle. When a ping pong ball bounces around in the fishbowl, it randomizes its speed, direction, and spin, all three of which would cause problems in the future.
Oh no, that was so close.
If I thought that was close, I was going to be in for a painful next 2 years. You'll see. By day 4, I still had not hit the rim of the shot glass, and I was getting discouraged, so for the time being, I decided to switch to a slightly larger white cup. But that wouldn't last long.
That is the saddest thing I've seen ever. No! It's not what you want to see when you're 10 hours into a trick shot. That is suffering! I am 12 hours into this shot! That is so sad!
No! No! It isn't coming! No!
Now, I really wanted to make this for Ping Pong Trick Shots, but unfortunately, we were posting every week back then. So despite my best efforts,
No!
here were my final attempts.
Well, outro time. 18 and a half. This is impossible.
So yeah, fun fact, the last beat drop was not meant for the partnership. It was meant for the fishbowl shot. Now, Ping Pong Trick Shots did end up doing pretty well, but after Insane Trick Shots 3 flopped like a couple months later, we sort of just lost motivation for the channel as a whole for quite a while. But I still didn't give up on the fishbowl shot. I had spent 18 hours on it. I wasn't going to just quit.
Back on the grind. Well, it begins again. If I get it under 20 hours, that's the plan currently.
Now, also does feel like a good time to mention that just because I made it into the fishbowl doesn't mean it would come out of the fishbowl. I'll let myself explain a little bit more.
So the problem is, right, it just like, I'm pretty much 50% of the time I get it in the fishbowl, it stays in the fishbowl. I have to walk down and up the stairs.
This actually happened like every 30 seconds, and I can't even put into words how annoying it was. Speaking of annoying,
20 hours.
Now that I was back to using the plastic shot glass, I felt like I wasn't getting close at all, especially after not getting a rim hit for 2 days in a row. By fall of 2021, I had worked almost 30 hours on the shot, and because we were coming back on the channel, I started doing it consistently again starting November. Right off the bat, the fit was hideous, but that's going to become a common theme in this era.
Oh no! Not the front rim. Oh my gosh!
At this point, it was becoming pretty clear that I was either really unlucky or this shot was really difficult. To be fair, it was probably both. By now, talking to friends and listening to music were the only two things that were keeping me from losing my mind. And it just so happened that the next day when I was on call with another old trick shooter, something awful would happen.
No! No! That was the closest I have ever gotten. That spin that spun on the rim of the cup and went out. No, we're not a hologram.
Unfortunately, during December, I pretty much stopped keeping clips because I just thought we had enough fishbowl fails at that point. We definitely did. I've been editing for 19 hours. Please help. But I do have text receipts that I worked on the shot December 3rd, December 9th, December 11th, December 14th, December 15th, and Christmas Eve. I did also film on December 6th, and thankfully we actually do have that clip.
No! I don't know how many buckets I've actually done. Way too many. I'm definitely making this into a video when I'm done with it. It deserves its own video.
After all that, I still hadn't made the shot, and I was almost 60 hours in. Yet again, I took a pretty solid break until June of 2022 before I worked on it again. And again, I didn't make it. 2 days in June, 1 day in July, where I took this absolutely stunning photo, and I almost just gave up forever.
Also guys, before Mitchell keeps talking, we just dropped Christmas merch!
We launched our new merch store, and we have Phil the Flamingo in stock. Christmas merch is only available until January 1st, including Christmas Phil. You can obviously get the regular design as well, anytime you want to. Go cop the merch.
We started planning for our second comeback to YouTube around March of this year, and the first thing I did was work on the fishbowl shot. We'll skip to day 2, which was the longest amount of time I've filmed probably ever in a day of this shot.
No! I thought I got it.
The difference in camera quality is pretty refreshing. While I was getting really close that day, the next day I was not getting close at all. So after that, we decided we'd rather work on some other trick shots. So yet again, the fishbowl would be put on hold. At this point, we're at the home stretch. We were nearly finished with trick shots from level 1 to 100, which was the video that this was meant to be in. But unfortunately, there were still a couple painful fails before I made it.
Oh my gosh, no!
Before we actually look at the make, I did actually make it 3 times.
No. What?
I still can't believe that went in. Comment down below if you think any of those should have counted. After working on it for so long, I just wanted to make the real thing, so I did not count any of them. But regardless, I think it's finally time to watch the moment you've all been waiting for.
Yes! Oh my goodness! No way! I got it!
I think it's hard to wrap your head around just how long 83 hours is.
If anything deserves a like, this does.
If I were to have replaced a high school class with just doing the fishbowl shot, it would have taken 2/3 of the school year. 2/3 of the school year for one trick shot. Looking back, it's crazy to see just how much I've changed.
No way.
2.5 years is a long time. And I still can't believe I finally made it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're insane enough to make it all the way through the video, maybe you should consider subscribing. See you guys next time. That's crazy.